Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I am Brett Chapin. That's Bonnie Salutikoff. We're talking with Sirius XM on Broadway host Seth Rudetsky. If you have any questions for Seth, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. That's 1-800-336-2225. You know, Seth, Bonnie and I were talking in the break, and she was saying that your mom reminds her a lot of her own mom.
Oh, very sweet. Thank you. I hope that's a good thing.
It is good. You know, and I like what she said about, like, keeping you on track. She calls you up. Like, maybe that could be, like, a new iPhone app, like the Jewish mother.
Oh,
It'll keep you for tasks. How long do you have to complete this task?
Why do I need the app? She does it without the app.
That's true.
Love it. You need to start marketing that. Seth, I wanted to talk a little bit about your involvement with Broadway CaresEquity Fights AIDS. It's an amazing charity. Can you tell us a little bit about what the work you've done for them?
Yeah, they're a very good charity because what they do, they're an umbrella organization. So all these little tiny AIDS organizations, like like a soup kitchen in Georgia, or like a free clinic and whatever, Valdosta, whatever. They get grants from Broadway CaresEquity Fights AIDS. So they're the umbrella organization, and they give to all these organizations, really all over the world, including the West End and South Africa. They started this stuff where I like doing volunteer work with stuff that I can actually do, that I'm good at, because I used to volunteer at God's Love We Deliver, which is food, and I'm like the worst cook in the world, so it was moronic that I was volunteering there in the kitchen when that's not my actual talent. So Broadway Cares does a lot of show-related volunteer work. So I began working for them. They do this thing called the Easter Bonnet Competition, where all these Broadway shows put on kind of like a big variety show after they've collected money for 6 weeks for Broadway CaresEquity Fights AIDS. They put on this big variety show kind of featuring Easter bonnet hats. That's sort of the guise of it, and it's completely star-studded. Like the biggest stars in the world do it. So I began working on that probably 1991 or 1992 as a rehearsal pianist, and then I began writing like sketches for the shows that I was working in. Like I worked on the show Grease, I wrote a sketch for that, and then they asked me to write the opening number. So I began doing that for a lot of years, and I actually created a lot of them with Chris Catelli. It was kind of his first gig as a choreographer, and now Chris has won the Tony Award for doing Newsies, so it was very exciting, like his sort of progression. And then I began hosting the same sort of event called Gypsy of the Year, and I've hosted it for the last probably 4 years. And the most amazing part was sharing a dressing room with Hugh Jackman and Daniel Craig.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was amazing. Yet I've never felt uglier or fatter. But besides that, it was great. So anyway, I do a lot of work for them. They're just a great organization, and part of the proceeds from my network, from Set TV, go to Broadway Cares, and another part go to the Actors Fund, which are the two big organizations that I work with all the time.
Guys, check them out on the internet. They're an amazing charity, Broadway CaresEquity Fights AIDS, and also the Actors Fund.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to ask you, you've got a movie in post-production right now, Varla Jean and the Mushroomheads?
Oh, God, you've got to check out my website. You're under the guise that my website's been updated since 1971. Literally, the movie's been out for the last year. It's been in all these festivals. Varla Jean is probably like the top 3 most talented people I've ever met in my life. Jeffrey Roberson, he's just a genius. He's so hilarious, and he wrote this movie called Varla Jean and the Mushroomheads, based on his character Varla Jean Merman, who's supposed to be the illegitimate daughter of Ethel Merman and Ernest Borgnine, and she's just this kind of narcissistic, no talent. And Varla decides that since most of her audience are gay men, they're getting too old and they're dying, so she decides to market herself to kids, and she decides to write a kids' television pilot called Varla Jean and the Mushroomheads, and she hires me. I play Seth Rudetsky. She hires me to write the score, but she doesn't ever have any money. Like, I keep asking to get paid, and she's like, here you go. And I'm like, this is a coupon. She have like an Advil coupon. Anyway, so the movie, we filmed it last year, and it's been doing really well at all the different festivals. It's hilarious.
Check it out, Varla Jean and the Mushroomhead. Sounds great. It's actually listed on IMDb in post-production, so that's strange.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
It literally has been playing I don't know what post-production means because I'm from the Broadway world, so maybe that is what is considered now. But I know that it's been shown at film festivals, so I would think it's past. Well, I don't know. What does post-production mean?
I thought that meant it hasn't come out yet. I thought that meant they're in the editing phase.
No, that's let me just say we made it. It's been shown at festivals, and it's funny. But I don't know what the actual official term for that is.
Sounds awesome. And then you also wrote with Jack Plotnick a movie musical called Disaster. Yes.
Well, it's a musical based on movies. But it's a live. It's not a movie at all. It's a live show.
It's a live show.
We wrote. It's a jukebox musical, meaning it's all songs from the 70s, and it's essentially a full musical, but kind of based on all those amazing disaster movies that were in the 70s. and we have all the disasters in the actual show. So it's a full plot. Like, it's about the first floating casino ever in New York City, that in 1979. But unfortunately, the casino's in the Hudson River, and it's drilled directly into a fault line. So on the night of the big opening, there's an earthquake and a fire and a tidal wave and killer bees and piranhas and a shark. Like, every single disaster happens, and it's a musical, so there are all these amazing songs from the 70s that happen throughout the show. And Jack and I wrote it in around 3 months, and we did it one night for this benefit, and then we decided to just put it up ourselves in New York once a week. And like the third performance, the New York Times came, and I didn't know they were coming, and it was literally one of the worst performances I've ever given, and I was devastated. And yet we got like the best review in the world, which kind of just goes to show like either you can't judge yourself or critics are stupid. But regardless, we got this amazing New York Times review, and now we're waiting to reopen it in a larger theater.
That's fantastic. And it's co-written with Jack Plotnick, who, by the way, is an incredible acting coach here in Los Angeles. Guys, check him out at jackplotnick.com.
Oh, my God. He's an amazing acting coach. When I went to go visit Sutton Foster backstage at her Broadway show, she had Jack Plotnick's affirmations from his website photocopied right next to her mirror.
I say his affirmations before every audition, definitely.
Oh, he's the best.
The guy's fantastic. And then I also wanted to ask you, I saw something about you did an episode of Law & Order, Criminal Intent?
CI. Yeah, what about it?
What was your role?
You know, every single role is the same information giver. And I gave information in the guise of a real estate agent, but it's all the exact same role. So there was a restaurant critic who died, and I was one of her friends. I was at dinner that night, and I said that she ordered
Maryland license number 00169.